I'm Chris, the host of They're Not Shadows, a paranormal story podcast. I normally tell true stories of the supernatural and the unexplained, but sometimes I will write a story, and today, in keeping with the Fear Daily theme, I've put together an episode made up entirely of fictional stories. I hope you like it, and you'll check out my regular show. Okay, let's begin. This happened in the late 80s, but I remember it well. It's not the sort of thing you forget. I had just started a new job at the museum.
If you'd like to follow me, we'll head over to the Hall of Ancient Civilization.
And had moved out of home and into a small apartment on my own. It was one of 12 in a small block. Cell phones had been invented, but they resembled something soldiers carried in the Second World War, and only the rich could afford them. I'd been in the apartment for maybe a week when I first noticed it. A little clicking sound that my phone would make from time to time. It happened again one day when I happened to be sitting next to the phone in the small living room.
So of course, I told her no.
It was what they used to call a crossed line. I was about to hang up and give them back their privacy when one of these women said,
"Oh, did I tell you? Someone finally moved into apartment 8, below me."
What a coincidence, I thought. I had just moved into an apartment 8.
Did you meet them yet?
Yeah, she seemed a nice young woman. She works at the museum.
Was it possible they were talking about me? I got flustered and hung up. The next day, when I came home from work, I stopped in the lobby to collect my mail.
Hi. Have you just moved in?
That voice, could it be?
A couple of days ago. I'm in apartment 8.
Oh, that's right below me.
It was. That was the woman from the crossed line. She looked at my uniform and said,
You work at the museum?
I'm a tour guide.
For the rest of that night, I couldn't stop thinking about it. Then, I came to the conclusion she hadn't actually met me when she made that phone call. She'd just seen me in my uniform. The phone made that clicking sound a few more times over the following days, and each time I ignored it. But then, one night, I couldn't resist. I listened for a minute or two about her sister doing something or other, and was about to hang up when
I saw the young woman from apartment 8 again. I don't know what happened to her, but when she came home from work today, she was limping.
what is she talking about? I thought. The next day, as I got off my bus, I tripped and fell onto the sidewalk, skinning my knee in the process.
You all right?
Yeah, I'm all right, thanks.
As I limped into my building, I passed the woman from apartment 12.
Oh, what happened to you?
I skinned my knee.
Oh, you poor thing.
Really, it's not that bad.
I didn't know what to think. Was this woman a witch? Or was the phone itself some kind of portal into the future? One thing I was certain of, I wasn't going to eavesdrop anymore. Well, that's what I thought. But every time that phone clicked, it was like a siren song.
Pick me up. Pick me up.
And finally, a couple of weeks later,
Well, he said he was a delivery man. What if she wasn't home and he came up to my apartment? It gives me the heebie-jeebies just thinking about it.
And you didn't hear anything?
Not a peep.
that was enough. I couldn't listen to any more of it. I took a shower. I wondered if I should go up and speak to her, but I figured she probably wouldn't know what I was talking about. I had a feeling it was only happening on these phone calls. It was getting late, but I couldn't sleep. Then, at around 11 p.m., I turned the TV down and sat perfectly still.
Hello. I have a package for you. I can't leave it at the door. You have to sign for it. I heard the TV before, so I know you're home.
Very slowly, I reached over and picked up the phone.
What's your emergency?
Someone's trying to break into my apartment.
Can you speak a little louder?
I said...
Hello? Are you still there? Miss? Do you still need assistance? Miss? Miss? Are you okay?
I was the sheriff of Greene County for 27 years, and in all that time, there was no case stranger than this one. It started with a call.
It's Mabel Jones? She sounds upset.
Mabel, how can I help you?
It's about Odette Rollins.
Go on.
I went to see her yesterday. Jeb told me she wasn't home.
Well, maybe she weren't.
He was lying.
What makes you think he was lying?
I could see her wheelchair behind him.
I'm sure there's a reasonable explanation, but if you like, I can drive out and speak to Jeb.
Something's wrong, Sheriff. I can feel it.
Odette Rollins lost her husband in a car wreck 12 years earlier. It left her in a wheelchair and totally reliant on her son, Jeb.
I'm going out to the Rollins place. I should be back soon.
You want me to come?
Nah, you hold the fort.
When I got there, Jeb was in the yard. He didn't look up as I approached. He just kept digging.
Hey, Jeb. What you doing?
Digging?
I can see that. Kinda looks like a grave.
Yup. A pig died.
You don't have pigs.
Did I say it was my pig?
How about you take a break and we go inside and talk?
If you like.
Days are getting hotter.
It hit me like a sucker punch. Sickly and sweet.
It's a bit ripe in here. Maybe you could open a window or two. How's your mother doing?
She's fine.
Do you mind if I have a word with her?
She's out with friends.
And which friends might that be?
You don't know them.
Try me.
Okay. She's out with Bill and Hillary. They're from outer state.
Let me guess. From Arkansas?
I'd known Jeb since he was a boy, and he'd always been friendly and full of life. But now, it was like talking to a stranger.
If that's all, Sheriff, I gotta get back to my chores.
Digging?
Yes, digging.
As I headed to the door, I could see down the short hallway.
Why does Odette's bedroom door have a padlock on it? Answer me, boy.
The lock is for privacy. You've heard of privacy, haven't you?
I'm gonna need you to open that door.
Do you have a search warrant?
This ain't over.
Goodbye, Sheriff.
As I drove back to my office, I had a very bad feeling.
Laura, get me Judge Michaels on the phone.
The next morning, I drove back out there, this time with my deputy.
We could find something out here. I want you to be prepared. Jeb, open the door. I got a warrant to search. You need to let us in. Screw this.
We searched and found no trace of Jeb or his mother. Then we came to Odette's room.
Odette, it's the sheriff. Are you okay? Open it.
She wasn't there, but her wheelchair was sitting in the corner. We went out into the yard.
Go check the shed.
I walked over to where Jeb had been digging.
Jeb, what have you done?
The grave had been filled in.
Vernon,
Yeah?
bring a shovel. Stop.
There was a body in the grave, just like I feared. Only it wasn't Odette's.
Oh God.
It was Jeb.
What the hell?
I struggled with this for days, trying to make sense of it. Then we got a couple of dogs in from a neighbouring county and searched the property and surrounding woods for 3 days. But we found nothing, not a single clue to where Odette had gone. But that was only half the mystery. What had possessed Jeb to dig his own grave? And more importantly, who filled it in? I retired 4 years ago, but this case still haunts me. It was around 8 a.m. and I left my apartment to go to work. The elevator arrived.
Going down.
And about halfway down, it stopped.
Oh crap.
I pressed a few buttons, trying to get it started again. But no luck. So I pressed the call button to talk to the concierge.
Hello?
Yeah, I'm stuck in the elevator.
Which one?
Elevator 2.
I'll call the company. We'll have you out in no time.
Okay, thank you.
I guess it was about a minute later.
Hello? Are you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Sorry, stupid question. I phoned the company and they should be out in around 20 to 25 minutes.
All right, thanks.
I thought I'd better phone work to let them know I'd be late. But there was no signal. I had used my phone in the elevator before, and it had always worked. About another 10 minutes passed.
Hello?
Yeah, are they here?
No, not yet. I just wanted to let you know that they're going to kill you. Yes?
What did you just say to me?
I said, they'll be here soon. Try to relax.
I didn't know how to react. That concierge had been in the building since before I moved in, 6 or 7 years earlier, and he didn't seem the type to make that kind of joke. I was starting to feel more than a little claustrophobic. More very tense minutes passed, and then...
Just checking in to see if you're still okay in there. Hello?
Yes, I'm fine.
All right, very good. Shouldn't be much longer. I'm going to eat your liver. Okay, hang in there.
What the hell kind of game was this sociopath playing? I got my phone out. I was going to record the next psycho thing he said and get him fired.
What the hell?
The voice recorder wouldn't work. Then the cheesy music changed to something dark and somber. Was this the concierge? I guess it was possible, but he didn't strike me as a techie type. And then the lights went out.
Hello? I'm afraid I have some bad news. I just got a call from the elevator company, and it seems they're not coming.
What do you mean they're not coming?
You are going to have to stay in there forever.
Why are you doing this to me?
And then the light came back on, and the elevator started up again. I walked over to the front desk.
Hi, can I help you?
I want to speak to the other guy.
You mean Yash? He's not in today.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm sure. There's only ever one of us rostered on. Can I help you?
No. I don't think you can.
For a few weeks after that, I took the stairs, and while walking down was okay, I guess. Walking up 14 floors grew very old very quickly. So I started using the elevators again. Nothing else happened, but every now and then, when I was alone in elevator 2, the lights would flicker just for a second. I don't know what it is, but I know it's still there. I can feel it.
Going down.
I'm a pretty regular sort of person. I get up at the same time each morning. I make the same breakfast. And I take the same bus to work each day. There's others who I see at the bus stop every day. There's woman who talks on her phone.
I know, that's what I told her, but she never listens that one.
Man who always coughs. Twice. And there's that other woman, the one who puts her bag on the seat so no one can sit next to her. I was on one such bus ride a couple of weeks ago. I glanced at bag on seat woman and I was hit with the deja vu stick. No, it was something else. It was a dream. A dream about...
Damn, it's gone.
A couple of days passed and I had another dream. Only this time I remembered it. I was on a street, somewhere. Ahead of me, a small crowd had gathered. And as I got nearer, I could see there was a body lying on the road. Just as I approached, a cop walked over and draped a sheet over the body. I only got a quick look, but I'm pretty sure it was the woman who puts her bag on the seat. Mr. Two Coughs was there as well, talking to someone.
I saw it all. She just stepped onto the road without looking, like her mind was elsewhere.
Then I woke up. I'd never had a dream like this. It was just so real. I really felt I needed to warn this woman, but I wasn't looking forward to it. She didn't strike me as being, well, approachable. The next morning, I got ready for work, then headed off to the bus stop, rehearsing it in my head.
This might sound a little crazy, but no, not that. How about you don't know me, but I had a dream? No, that's worse.
The bus arrived. There were a few empty seats, but I walked down the aisle and stopped next to the woman. I just stood there and waited for her to look at me.
Would you mind?
She moved her bag, and I sat down.
Thank you.
Then I took a deep breath and said,
Look, you probably won't believe me, but I feel obliged to tell you anyway. Last night I dreamt that you were hit by a car.
What?
I had a dream about you. You were hit by a car and you died.
Oh.
I know, it's crazy, but I felt I needed to tell you, okay?
Thank you?
Then I got up and found another seat. She may have had questions, but I had no answers. I thought about this all weekend. I couldn't get it out of my mind. Then, on Monday morning, I got up and headed to work. I came around the corner.
Oh my God.
There was a crowd, just like in my dream. The man who coughs was talking to a cop.
She just stepped onto the road, right in front of that car. She wasn't even looking.
I stepped closer.
Excuse me. Excuse me. Please.
No one would move for me, so I maneuvered myself around them and looked down at the woman lying on the road.
What's happened?
There. A woman was hit by a car.
Oh my God, I know her. Well, kind of. She spoke to me just a couple of days ago. She sat next to me on the bus and told me she had a dream about me being hit by a car.
Well, I guess she got it kinda right.
Yeah, I guess. Crazy stuff, huh?
When the ambulance arrived, one of the paramedics pronounced me dead. Don't give up! Come on, do the thing! You know, the thing! 1, 2, 3, 4, staying alive, staying alive! You guys suck. I'm not sure why, but I rode with my body to the hospital. Wishful thinking, I suppose. I went to my funeral yesterday. Here's a tip. Don't trash talk the dead. We can hear you. You may be wondering how I'm able to tell you this story, being, dead. It's really quite simple. It's like this. Wait a minute. Is that a light? Yes, it is. Sorry, I gotta go. Just remember this. Be nice to each other. That's it. Be nice.
I have only had one paranormal experience, but it was something that affected me in a very profound manner. I was 14 and it was summer break. I was driving into town with my mum. There wasn't much to look at on this ride, except for the cornfields that stretched far and wide on both sides of the road.
Oh, don't forget, your father wants that thing from the hardware store.
I had recently seen the movie Signs, and being an imaginative child, I was scanning the corn for aliens. I didn't see any, of course, but I did see something. Standing in the corn, about 20 feet or so back from the road, was a girl from my school, Rebecca Morgan. She was a couple of years younger than me, so I didn't really know her, but it was a small town. As we passed, she looked straight at me, and for a few seconds I felt what can only be described as sadness. We pulled up outside the supermarket, then headed inside. We'd only been there for a minute or two when my mum ran into someone she knew, and of course they stopped to chat. I wasn't even slightly interested in their conversation, but something Mrs. Langtry said made my ears prick up.
Such a shame about the little Morgan girl.
What do you mean?
Oh, you haven't heard? She's missing.
Oh my lord.
No one's seen her for 2 days.
Mom?
I'm talking here.
Mom, listen. I just saw her in the corn.
It didn't take long for the wheels to start turning. And before I knew it, my mum and I were sitting in the back of the sheriff's car, driving back to the cornfields.
Son, are you sure it was her?
Yeah, I'm sure.
As we approached, I could see Rebecca still standing in the same place.
Stop. Over there.
Show me exactly where you saw her.
What was he talking about? I thought. She was standing not 15 feet in front of us.
There,
I said, and pointed straight at her.
Come with me.
The sheriff gave me a "you better not be wasting my time" look. Then walked over to where I pointed. I swatted at a bug that flew into my face. Then I looked back at where Rebecca was standing, but she was gone. Then the sheriff pushed aside the corn.
Oh, Jesus.
There was a deep gash on her forehead and dark, dried blood covering her hair and one side of her face. Rebecca, it turned out, had been dead for around 48 hours. The sheriff had the deputy drive us back to our car, but later that night he came to our house.
Young man, Rebecca's body wasn't visible from the road. So I'll ask you again. How did you know she was in the corn?
It didn't take very long for the gossip to start. People actually thought I had something to do with Rebecca's death, even when the autopsy proved, without a doubt, that I was 30 miles away at my grandmother's house when the murder happened. I don't know if Rebecca chose to show herself to me, or if it was random, and I just happened to be the unlucky person who was looking out at the corn that day. They never did find her killer, and all these years later, when I go back to that town to visit my parents, I still get dirty looks from some of the older residents. As I said, I've only had one paranormal experience. It was enough